Good morning, friends, and welcome to this demo on the Linux server administration. Okay, we will see some very basics of Linux, why it is so important for us to learn Linux. Okay, what are the job opportunities we have after learning Linux, and what else we can do with this Linux administration action. Fine. Now, see, this session is a live session, as you know, and this session will be recorded for sure. The recordings has already started, and the recordings will be provided to you once you finish our demo session. Okay, each and every session will be recorded here, friends. So at the end of the course, at the end of the day, you will get all the recordings. So the first class till the last class, each and every class is indeed recorded here. Okay, so in case if you have any doubts or any questions in the middle of the session, you can simply use the chat box. I've already sent a message in the chat box. You can use the chat box and you can simply send your queries in the chat box so that I can address your questions, I can address your queries at the earliest. So let us try to organize this class in the best way possible. So please try to use the chat box to send your questions. And at the end of the class, at the end of the session, if you want to interact with me, just unmute yourself and interact with me. Okay, so till the end of our course, the chat box will be open, the recordings will be done. Okay, so it will be best way for you to learn. Every session should be like an interactive session. Feel free to interact with me on any topic which is related to our course. Done? Now, let us see what is this server, the Linux server. Okay, this is a operating system, right? Like, Windows is a operating system. Linux is also, let's say generally, it is an operating system. Technically, we can have many other things there, but generally, let's say Linux is also a operating system. Now, listen carefully, my friend. The most common operating system that we use across the globe is actually your Windows operating system. See, as of now, if I go to my machine here, just a second, guys. Yeah. See, in my machine, I'm using which operating system here? Right now, in my machine, I'm using Windows 10. There is something called Windows 11 also available. Okay, so I'm using Windows 10 operating system. So the most famous operating systems are the Microsoft Windows client operating systems. I repeat, Microsoft Windows client operating system. These are the most famous and mostly used operating systems. If not famous, I'll use the terminology as mostly used operating system. Why they are mostly used? See, if there is a company with, let's say, 3,000 people, and let's say there are totally 3,000 laptops there. In every laptop, there is an operating system for sure. And which operating system will be there? It will be either Windows 10 or Windows 11. Okay. Now, in the same company, my friend, we have something called servers. What we have? We have something called server. Now, for this 3,000 people, how many servers can be there? For 3,000 people, let's say there are totally 60 servers. Now, out of the 60 servers, I can say on 50 servers, there will be Linux operating system. And the remaining 10 servers, let's say the Windows operating system. So say, if you take this example of a company, in this one company, there are totally how many people working? 3,000 people working, a medium level company. Okay. So in this 3,000 people company, there are 3,000 laptops or desktops where we are using the Windows client operating system. It can be Windows 10 or Windows 11. And on the server side, 50 out of 60 servers, we are using the Linux operating system here, right? So this is the reason why the Windows operating system is the mostly used operating system. Especially in Windows, the Windows client operating system is the mostly used operating system. But once you go to the server side, now there is a tough competition in server. Linux is given very tough competition to the other competitors. Linux is indeed the widely used server operating system across the globe. Go to any country, any company, the company can be of any business. It can be a banking sector, okay, it can be some, big MNC, okay, it can be a company related to some, any XYZ thing, a cloud computing provider, a virtualization company, something that is related to cyber security. You talk about anything, my friend, over the internet or in any company, in servers, the widely used servers are the Linux servers. Got it? Client side, maybe Windows people have upper hand. More than 90% cases, we will see Windows client only. But coming to the server, like I said, you server, there is no competition for Linux. It's far away from the other operating systems. Got it? Fine. So this is your operating system. These are some of the operating systems we have across the globe. Now let us see a bit more about operating systems. Like I said, the rules will remain same here, friends. Whenever you have any doubt, feel free to send your question in the chat box. Done? Now, what is the operating system? Generally speaking, what we do, what we say about operating system, it is an interface between the user and the hardware. Who is the user here? I am the user, you are the user. And what is the hardware? Hardware is our machine. See, can we store some data on our hardware if the operating system is not working? Answer is no. Can we access anything on internet through browser if the operating system is not working? Answer is no. So whatever we do here, my friend, on a hardware as a user, in between there is a operating system. So operating system can be your client operating system or a server operating system. So client operating systems have basic functionalities. Client operating systems are designed for some purpose. That is for, our on laptop machines or desktop machines, we can use the client operating systems. But once you go to the server operating system, the server operating systems are designed to run some services. Okay, I'll say a web server, a email server, file server, database server, proxy server, DNS server. There are different types of servers available there. What is the use of a email server? See, whenever you're sending an email to someone or whenever you're receiving some email, you're receiving and sending the email through a web server, through a email server. Whenever you access something over the internet, you're accessing a web server. Okay, so like this, there are different types of servers available there. So the interface between a user and a hardware is indeed a operating system, but this operating system can be your client operating system or a server operating system. Fine. Now see here, my friend. What operating system will do? It will do all the tasks like resource management, process management, security, networking, performance monitoring, data management, backup and recovery, running application. It will do all these tasks here. Okay, I'll take a very general example here. See, I'm using a Windows 10 operating system here, and I have some I have some desktop hardware here actually with some configuration. You know what I want to do here now? I just want to check how much hardware is being utilized in my machine. So what to do? In Windows, just right click here. There is an option called Task Manager. In Task Manager, there is an option called Performance. Once you go to Performance, you can see the performance of your machine. Everything will be clearly mentioned there, my friend. For example, see, in my machine, I have totally 16 GB RAM, 16 GB memory. Memory is a very major component, right? So 16 GB memory. Out of 16 GB memory, around 6 GB is already in use. That means around 35% is already in use. Okay, remaining is how much? Remaining is still 10 GB of memory. Okay, see here it is clearly showing you available memory is 10 GB, use is around 5.4 GB or let's say 6 GB in round figure. Got it? So this is what this is called, process management, performance management, okay, hardware management. So if the operating system is not available in your machine, my friend, can you do this activity? Can you check how much hardware is being utilized? First of all, we cannot use the hardware, right? Forget about how to check it. We cannot use the hardware. So this is one function of your operating system. So this function is available in every operating system, whether it is Windows client operating system like Windows 10 or Windows 11, or whether it is Windows Server operating system like Windows Server 2019 or 2022, or whether it is Linux, Red Hat Linux, or Ubuntu Linux, or anything. It is available in every operating system. Okay. But what makes a server operating system special from the client operating system? That should be a big question for us. You know, there is something called running applications. What is here, my friend? Running applications. Running application makes things different. What are these applications? Have you ever imagined where exactly is your Flipkart running? Have you ever imagined where exactly is your phone pay or WhatsApp running actually? These are the applications, right? These are the applications they are running on this server operating system. So server operating system is majorly designed to run the applications. Okay, you may say in my client operating system also there are certain applications available, right? Like, there is something called MS Word here. There is something called Oracle VirtualBox. There is something called VLC Play. There is something called any disk operating system. There is something called Zoom. As of now, we are using Zoom meeting here, right? So it is also available in my machine. Now listen carefully, friends. This is your client application. Let me just, go with this Zoom example. Hopefully it will be much easier for you to understand how these servers are helping us. Okay. What I'll do here is I'm sitting here in my home on my laptop or desktop, whatever. And you people are also sitting somewhere in your home, right? Somewhere, maybe someone is using a mobile phone, maybe someone is using a laptop, or maybe someone is using a desktop, whatever the machine. And see, we all people are connected to this particular Zoom session from different locations. We are connected here. So in my laptop, there is a Zoom application. In your mobile phone desktop also, there is a Zoom application. But like I said, my friend, this is just a client application. Where exactly the Zoom server is running? The Zoom server is running somewhere on a server machine. This server machine has some hardware, and this server machine has a operating system. And on top of this, the Zoom application is running. So I am connected to the Zoom application here. Everyone is connected to the Zoom application. Maybe you're joining the session from Delhi, or maybe from Dubai, or maybe from Denmark. It doesn't matter. Wherever you're sitting, you can simply connect to the Zoom server, and you can simply connect to this particular online session here. Okay. Now, the Zoom session, like I said, is running on your operating system. This is a major thing. If you just remove the operating system, there will not be any Zoom application for sure. We cannot access anything. So the main thing here is the operating system. So the Linux server operating system is designed to run any sort of application. Like I said, my friend, a gaming application, a banking application, a web application, a file application, okay? Any application that is available over the internet or within your company, you can run that application very smoothly on our Linux operating system. Okay, now you may think Linux operating system is supporting every application, right? So what about the Windows operating system? This is the other operating system we have. Will it support every application? See, whenever you try to select a operating system, there are certain things you decide. One of the thing is actually security. So where there is more security? More security is there in Linux. More security is there in Linux. Normally a non-technical person also, when he try to say the difference between Windows and Linux, I have seen many people, they say like, Linux is more secure than Windows without having any knowledge. Actually, they generally say like Linux is more secure than Windows. Obviously, this is something they might have heard somewhere, right? But technically speaking, yes, Linux is more secure than Windows. So that is the reason majority of applications that are running over the internet, that are running within the company, they are running on Linux. Now, if everything is running on Linux, or let's say 80 to 90% things are running on Linux, what about the Windows? Now, Windows servers have their own speciality. Windows servers have their own advantages. There is a concept in Windows Server called Active Directory that is not possible on any other server like Linux or any other server. So Windows is famous for certain things and Linux is famous for many things actually. So this is the reason majority of cases over the internet, I am saying more than 80% cases over the internet, whatever applications you see, whatever applications you are connecting in your daily life, these applications are running on the Linux operating system. Okay, so I hope it is clear now. Operating system is a layer in our machine which will do many tasks. By using operating system, we can store the data. By using operating system, we can do some browsing. By using operating system, we can check our performance in our machine. This all things we can do, and this all things are available in every operating system. But this server operating system is designed for a special purpose, and the server operating system is designed to run our services. So how many people are there who can use this server operating system? People who get training on Linux servers, they can run the Linux server operating system. Now tell me friends, have you ever seen anyone using Linux server operating system in their laptops? I may get an answer as no. If you say no, I'm not surprised here actually, because no one will use the Linux operating system in the laptops, because to use the Linux operating system, you need proper training. When we start using this Windows operating system, did we got any proper training? We might have seen someone is using and we have just started using it. And later on, we did some more browsing, some more searching, and we are using this Windows 10 operating system. But I don't think anyone is there who has done a course like how to use Windows 10 operating system. I don't think so. Any person can simply start using this because it is designed in a very simple and easy way. Coming to Linux operating system, it is a server OS which is more secure. So there is a particular design for it. There is a particular configuration for it. So those things we need to learn. Across the globe for last 30 years, millions of people, or let's say lakhs and lakhs of people have already learned the Linux. They are working on the Linux. Today, 3rd October 2024. Maybe some thousands of people across the globe, they have decided to go with the Linux server administration. They have decided to learn the Linux server administration. So for last 30 years, many people have already learned the Linux, they become the Linux administrator. Today, many people are trying to learn the Linux server administrator. They are learning and they will become the administrator. After maybe like 10 years also, you will see the same pattern, my friend. Linux servers will still remain there. The server operating system is so properly designed that, it will support literally every application. I hope it is clear. So this is something about your operating system, my friend. So it is indeed the interface between the user and hardware, but it will do many tasks there. Okay. Now let me just go with the client and the server OS. This is what we have discussed here. Client OS is designed to run on desktop machines and laptops, whereas server OS is designed to run on a special server machine. Okay. And the applications like web server, mail server, all these applications will run there. This is the difference between server OS and client OS. Okay, we'll see more about all these things in our regular classes, but as of now, I hope you got the idea what exactly is a server operating system. Okay, a operating system can be multitasking, single task, Okay, let me just, go through a bit here. See here, friends, what it says, single user, single task means operating system, only one user can connect and he can do only one task. Single user multitasking means one user can connect and he can do multiple tasks. He can work on some document, and at the same time he can download something. At the same time he can hear some voice or music or something. It is called single user multitask. But multi-user multitask is a major thing here, my friend. Multi-user multitask. Linux operating system is a multi-user and multitask operating system. If this is a server where the Linux is running, hundreds and thousands of people can connect to this machine at the same time, and hundreds and thousands of people can do different tasks at the same time. That's a big thing. They can do different tasks without interrupting the other person task. Without interrupting the other person task, they can do multiple tasks on this particular Linux server. Got it? So this is your multi-user, multitask operating system, my friend. Okay, no issues. We'll come to it again in great details. Okay, so if I just come down here to this particular slide, this is the guy, my friend. His name is Linus Torvalds, who has designed our Red Hat Linux kernel. So let us say generally again, he is the guy who has designed the Linux operating system. And you know why we have to give more credit to this person? This person has designed this Linux operating system and he has provided the Linux operating system for free. Linux operating system as of today, October 3rd October 2024, it is freely available. The source code is freely available. You know what you can do by using source code? You can design your own Linux. For example, if I say it's like a formula. What is source code? Source code is like a formula. You have the formula, you can design a particular product. We don't have the formula of Microsoft server operating systems. The formula is there, the source code is there with the Microsoft people only. We cannot make any changes in the Microsoft operating system. But coming to the server, Linux server operating system, it is an open source operating system. You can take the source code, I can take the source code. Let's say tomorrow a person like Shah Rukh Khan, let's say a person like, Virat Kohli, they can take the source code and they can take Virat Kohli Linux, Shah Rukh Khan Linux. They can do like this. This is your Linux. This is your open source code. The source code is available for everyone. You can use it, and according to your requirement, you can modify it. According to your requirement, you can change it. And if the changes are good, you can distribute those changes, distribute those new Linux operating system to some other person. It is a free operating system to use. Today, I can install the Linux operating system in my laptop or desktop or a server. I can use it. There will not be any problem with the license agreement. But is it same with the Windows? Of course, no. Windows is all commercial, right? We have to pay money and we have to use the Windows operating system. Whether it is server operating system or client operating system, we have to pay and we have to use. Okay. Now, all these features we will see here, my friend. This is just a basic demo. I'm not going to cover any of these things. Hopefully tomorrow we will see in great details about these things. But as of now, there are some more distributions here. Linux is not one operating system. You might heard about Red Hat Linux, which is quite famous. That is what we are going to learn here. But beside this Red Hat Linux, the other thing is Ubuntu actually. So we call it as distributions here. So there are many Linux distributions. There are some hundreds of Linux distributions. If you know one Linux, let's say Red Hat, you can work on the other OS like Fedora or Debian or Ubuntu or SUSE. You just need to know one Linux. I'm not saying like every Linux operating system is completely same, but they are very similar. If you can work on one, you can work on other one also. For example, if you know how to use WhatsApp, there are many other applications which are, like WhatsApp, right? The chatting applications. Let's say Telegram. So if you know how to use WhatsApp, it will not be difficult for you to use Telegram. Options will be more or less same. You can send a message, you can send a file, you can send a photo, you can send a video, you can make a call, you can make a voice call, you can make a text call, you can text there, or you can do video call. They are similar, right? They are simply similar. So if you know one, the other things you can use. Here also same. If you learn the Red Hat Linux, and if in case in a company they are searching for a Ubuntu server administrator, you will be still eligible to get a job in that company actually, because it will be more or less same. Okay, fine. These are some of the things here. See, we have some more Linux here. Amazon people also have their Linux. Azure Linux. Azure is what? It is a Microsoft product, right? So they also have their Linux operating system. So literally, my friend, whenever we use internet, at least for let's say 20 minutes or 10 minutes also, we are connecting to the application, and that application is actually running on the Linux server operating system. So Linux is so famous, so powerful that, if you're in this IT field, especially in the administration field, network administration, cloud administration, DevOps administration, cyber security administration, if you want to become hacker and all those things, without Linux, you simply cannot imagine yourself going too far, my friend. No way. Linux is the most famous server operating system. Windows is the most famous client operating system. Linux is the most famous server operating system. So at the end of the day, we are the server administrators. So we need to know more about the Linux server operating system. Okay. There are many other advantages. There are many other features. I just want to keep this session very short and sweet actually. First demo session. And hopefully tomorrow we are expecting more people. But anyhow, this is just a demonstration. I just want to keep short and sweet. So like I said to you, my friend, Linux server operating systems are the most famous server operating system. You cannot survive in this field without having proper knowledge on Linux. Normally people say we know basics of Linux. See, if I know basics of Linux, a company will not care for me, my friend. Like for example, I'm applying for a job in a restaurant as a chef. If I say I know how to cut onions and potatoes, will they hire me? This is basic, right? Cutting the onions and cutting the potatoes is the basics. So obviously they will not hire me. I need to know how to cook biryani maybe. I need to know how to make some, uh, some other dishes. So then only I'll be eligible to work in a restaurant as a chef. So when someone says they know the basics, that's not enough, my friend. A company is looking for a person who knows the Linux administration. Okay, let me just take you through the syllabus. Hopefully you will understand better like what we are going to learn here. This is a complete package. In this package, we are starting the Linux. And in case if you're interested in AWS, Amazon Web Services, we'll be starting Amazon Web Services hopefully next week. That's a different course. Okay, so let us simply concentrate on Linux here. We'll be learning all these things in Linux, my friend. Hmm? There is something called user management. There is something called group management. Okay. There is something called file and directory permissions. You simply cannot survive in your career without knowing this concept called file and directory permission. You simply cannot survive in your career without learning how to creating files, how to create directories, how to do modifications, how to copy, how to delete, how to paste. Linux is all about commands. It is not like Windows. In Windows, what we do, if you want to copy, let's say Docker is a folder here. I can just say copy and I can say paste, or I can say cut and I can say paste, or I can say delete. But in Linux, everything is what? Everything is commands, commands, commands. So we do everything by using commands here, my friend. So this is the syllabus of Linux. So whenever you go and do something on the Linux operating system, you're using particular command and you do the configuration there. Many people are afraid of that particular thing. Let me just open a Linux operating system here. So many people feel like, okay, how can we learn the commands? Many people are afraid of coding and all those things. Listen, my friend. First of all, Linux is not coding. Okay, although we use commands there, but it is not coding. It is not at all coding. Hmm? There are some basic commands we need to learn. Initially, like 1 or 2 days, you may feel like, okay, commands are looking a bit different or a bit difficult in a way. But you know, my friend, once you complete your 2, 3 practical sessions, you will feel more comfortable there. You know, people who start learning something, obviously anything they are learning, they feel difficulty. But you know, my friend, today, if you go and do a survey across the globe, any country, any continent, anywhere, if you do some survey and if you see like administrators where they are, happy using the operating system graphically or using the operating system in CLI, that is command line interface. People who have couple of years example, they say with 100% guarantee that, they are more comfortable in using the operating system in CLI, command line interface. Now, this is your Linux operating system. If I say ls here, see, we can see something here. As of now, I have connected to the Linux server operating system. It will look exactly like this. The only thing you need to know here is you need to know the concept of Linux, theoretical concept. Then you should know how to do practicals. Majority of servers across the globe, majority of applications across the globe, they are running on this Linux operating system. So I'll be brutal honest with you, my friend. Initially, 1 or 2 days, you may feel a bit difficulty here and there, but once you cross those things, you can do practicals, all the practicals easily. And when you start working in a company, you will be 100 times more comfortable working on a server using CLI, using commands compared to graphics. That is for sure. Okay, so the day when you start realizing like, okay, commands are much better, that day your career will go very far actually. You'll get a lot of success. Initially, it's a, natural thing. Every person try to like, be more comfortable. Like, normally we hear like you should be out of your comfort zone. So if you're comfortable, okay, you do some work on Windows Server, all those things. But if you want to get great career, then you have to go with the Linux server operating system, whether it is cloud computing, whether it is DevOps, whether it is running any application, whether it is for cyber security or any other technology that is related or that is there, my friend. Every technology has a Linux as one of the most famous requirement. So we are not learning the basics of Linux in this particular course. We are learning the Linux administration. Okay, we are learning our Linux administration. See, I just opened the file here. I'm just clearing the screen here. Okay, I'll just make a file here, like touch, let's say, uh, demo one. Let's say demo. If I say ls here, can you see the file is created with the name demo? When the file is created, ls-l, you can see all the details of this particular file, demo. File permissions are this. You may feel like, oh, what exactly is this? It is looking too much. My friend, once you know this, what is this D, R, W, this, you will simply enjoy this. Okay, so don't worry about the Linux CLI part. Don't feel like, okay, it is all about CLI. No, my friend. If you want to see growth in your career, if you want to get more success in your career, more success means more job opportunities and better package, good salary. That is what success is all about, right? At least in the, working field. So if you want to get more job opportunities and if you want to get, more package, better salary, then you should learn Linux server. When you learn, where you learn, with whom you learn, that's a different thing. You must learn this Linux server. It is used literally with every technology. And once a person is in the Linux, he'll be obviously moving into cloud or DevOps or cyber security and all these things. So the starting point will be Linux. And you know what I'm doing here, my friend? With this Linux server, actually, I'm providing Windows servers for free. So this is Windows Server Administration. Once you go with this Windows Administration, this one, I'll be sharing some recorded sessions, the latest recorded sessions of Windows Server 2022. So it will be very easy for you to learn this. So once you finish Linux, you're getting the Windows servers. Linux will take around 35 to 40 days. Windows servers will take for you, let's say maybe like 8 days to 10 days. It will be so smooth for you. Like, just now we have seen the file permissions here, right? See, let me just go there. We have just seen the file permission. So when you go with the file permission here, you're discussing like, okay, what is this file permission? What is this read, write, and all those things. And when you go with the Windows server, you have the same permissions. File permissions will be there. So you should know what is this file permission. That's it. Remember, just now we have seen users there. Here also we have these users. In Linux, we have groups. So here also we have like groups. So once you finish your Linux, you will get the Windows recorded sessions. And once you go through the Windows recorded sessions, you are again increasing your job chances. If a person knows Windows servers as well as Linux server, company will be more than happy to take that person because he is a multi-talented person, multitasking person. He can do both. In cricketing terminologies, we call it as all-rounders, right? Why till today we praise person like Kapil Dev? Maybe we were not born actually. Most of the people were not born when Kapil Dev has already retired. But in cricketing history, he is one of the greatest player because he was an all-rounder. He can bat, he can bowl. So companies are looking for someone who has, multiple things in their resume. And learning Linux and Windows within next 2 months is not at all difficult, my friend. It is no way difficult. Okay, so just try to concentrate on the basic things. Things will be sorted out very soon. Things will be very clear for you in Linux as well as in Windows. So don't worry about this server operating system, which is in CLI. it will be very smooth for you. Hopefully it will be very easy for you. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. This was a very basic demo. I just want to show you like what is Linux, why it is so famous, why it is so important for you to learn the Linux server. Okay, I'm here for like at least couple of minutes. If you have any doubt, feel free to clear your questions, and hopefully we'll meet again tomorrow with some more people. And tomorrow probably we'll go a bit deep into this Linux server part. Demo sessions are much needed actually, because most of the people who come for Linux, they are majorly freshers. They have zero knowledge about anything. Or maybe some people, they come from like cloud computing background. Once they do the cloud computing, they realize, okay, without Linux administration, nothing is working in cloud. So they come from the cloud part. But most of the people are freshers actually. So I need to start everything from the scratch, everything from the basic level. Okay, so as of now, if you have any doubts, any questions, feel free to clear your doubts so that it will be useful for you as well as for everyone. Every session is recorded here. Every day the chat box is open. So try to keep the sessions more interactive. So that will help you as well as the other participant. And I also know like, okay, we are moving in a particular direction and we are moving together. If one person is somewhere like 10 kilometers away and one person is 20 kilometers behind, that's not the way to move, right? If everyone is moving together in a single direction, that will be quite fun. Okay, friends, so that's it for the day. I'm here for like at least 30 to 40 more seconds. If any question, we will see. Else, we'll stop the session for today. I just want to say one thing before you go. When you learn, where you learn, with whom you learn is a different thing. Okay, learning Linux, you should keep the top priority for yourself. Normally you do some favors to yourself. Normally we do favors to some other person, right? Like suppose someone is asking some money, we are paying some, we just transfer some money. That's a favor. Okay, but now if you want to do favor to yourself, then you know what you can do, my friend? You can learn the Linux. By the way, we are learning the latest Linux here, Linux 9.0 version. That is the latest Red Hat Linux version we have. So that is what we are learning. So what I'm trying to say here is just do a favor to yourself by learning the Linux administration. Then your future will be very bright, because this Linux administration will help you a lot in the other technologies, as well as it will help you a lot in getting the job. Okay, so that's it for the day, friends. Thanks for joining. I think there are no questions here. I'll be still here for like 30 seconds. In case if I get any question, I'll respond to it, or else I'll close the session after 30 seconds. So good luck, take care, and hope to see you again tomorrow at same